Go.
All right, guys, I'm so excited about tonight's Zoom. It might be a little bit all over the place, but I promise that there's going to be something that each of you needs to hear tonight. But before we get started, can you guys just all give yourselves a pat on the back? You were invited to this Zoom because you are a current leader on the team or you are an emerging leader on the team. And most likely you promoted either in 2021 or late 2020, or your leader believed in you enough that they wanted you to be on this Zoom. So I want you to give yourself a pat on the back, because honestly, so many times in this business, we hit a goal and then we get so obsessed with either the next goal, or we get so obsessed over just maintaining, that we forget to celebrate what we've actually accomplished. And so I know a lot of you guys have done that, because our goal, we maybe hit Ruby and that's more than what we ever thought we could do. But we forget to celebrate as our dreams get a little bit bigger. So be proud of yourself for being here, you guys. I want you to drop a one in the chat if you have already in this business accomplished something that you did not think you would be able to do at some point. If you hit a rank, if you've done something that maybe you didn't think you were going to be able to do when you joined. Okay, there's lots of lots of you guys, so that's awesome. So second of all, I want to acknowledge the fact that we've got a lot of people in a lot of different places in their business right now that are on this Zoom. So some of this is going to be tough love, and some of you guys need to hear that. Some of it is going to be casting vision, because some of you need that. Some of it is just going to be celebrating and talking about dreaming bigger, because some of you just need that. So just know that it's not directed at any one person. This is just all stuff that people in your position, someone that has recently promoted, needs to often hear. And if you don't need it now, there's a good chance that you're going to need it at some point in your business, or someone in your downline is going to need to hear some of the same information. So just keep that in mind. If we get a little sassy, we can only give tough love because we love you guys. That's that's the key to tough love. So you need to know that everything is with love, and it's because we want to see you guys hit your goals, and we love you enough to not let you be the thing standing in your own way. So just so we can get all on a level playing field, I want you guys to share some things in the chat. So I want you to drop a two in the chat if you would say about half of your distributors in your chart are not working currently. Drop a two. Oh, hi, look, hello, so many twos. Okay, so we can all agree that that's a part of the industry, right? And so the first thing I want you guys to hear tonight, that if you are frustrated, discouraged, constantly talking about your team not working, or most of your team not working, or if my team would just XYZ, fill in the blank, keep in mind that it's not a you thing, it's an industry thing. And honestly, it's a people thing. It's not even network marketing alone. It is corporate America. It's any job, any restaurant, any corporation ever. Think of how often people leave and skip around their jobs. Okay, this industry is not for everyone. Not everyone will give it a chance. People are going to join, they're going to ghost you, and then you know what? A couple people are going to join you and they're going to stay forever, and they're going to forever change your life, and you're going to forever change theirs because you said yes and because you stayed. So if you have not done the personal development or the business development to understand that that is a part of having this business, then you need to. That needs to be step one. And you guys can throw some examples in the chat if you have a book or a podcast or anything that would help with this. But Build to Last is a great book. For those of you, I mean, we read it, a bunch of us read it last year, and it is so good for like wrapping your brain around the power of this industry, but also setting your expectations for what it's going to look like to get to the top of this industry. So I would highly recommend that. I mean, Beach Money, there's a bunch of industry specific books that you could look into. In addition to, we talk about personal development, we talk about watching all these different YouTubes and Zoom recordings, et cetera, et cetera. But you also need to learn about the industry itself, because it will bring you a lot of peace when you're dealing with stuff that a bunch of other people are dealing with. Because too often I see people that they isolate themselves because they feel like they're the only one dealing with something, and it's just simply not true. Okay, so number two, if you have ever had someone ghost you after they joined, or they decided to quit on day one, drop a two, and or I guess we're on three, huh? Drop a three in the chat. Yeah, okay, just happened to me this week, you guys. Almost 10 years into the business, still happens. Okay, I feel like sometimes I'm following up with people that have already joined just to see if they still want to be in the business. So I get it. Lots of threes. Okay. Drop a 4 if you've been stressed about maintaining the rank that you hit or have hit previously. Okay. Let's see who's honest here. Drop a 5 if you've ever said something along the lines of, if my team would just fill in the blank. Okay. And then drop a 6 if you're ready to drop the excuses, stop playing the blame game, get your foot back on the gas. If it was taken off, because not all of you guys, I mean, some of you guys are like, my foot is on the gas times 10, and you're ready to take ownership of your business. Okay, because that's what this is going to be about tonight. And we're going to try to give you guys some tangible tips to getting, not focusing on maintaining, but focusing on setting yourself up for not what it's going to look like in 30, 60, 90 days, but what this business can look like for you a year or 2 years down the road. Because sometimes we get so caught up in the 3-week plan of where we're going to be on May 31st, instead of thinking about where we're going to be, a year from now. So I'm going to let Jamie share what she's got. We've got lots of bullet points to make our way through. So we will try to be quick, but we also want you guys to soak in as much as possible.
Okay, perfect. I think that you teed that up so perfectly. And I love that literally, I think there's 24 people on this Zoom, or 25. Every time she asked, all 25 of y'all said yes to all of the things, right? Are you taking control of your business? Have you ever been ghosted? All of those things. You are in good company. So I think that there is like a lot of, for me, I'm like, I'm not alone, right? And I hope you guys know that you're not alone. And when you start feeling like your team is the only one that is not working or not doing the things, then know that 25 other people right here in this Zoom meeting are right there with you. So I'm so glad that Alyssa opened with that, because I think that it's super, super important. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I'm just going to start at the top of our list that we made, is the importance of recruiting and not just filling boxes. And Alyssa and I have been having conversations about this Zoom specifically because this is the season where people promote. This is the season where people have their foot on the gas. And this is the season where, if y'all were on the Mayfield Zoom last week or week before, where she said, if you tie, you die. Okay, so we have to make sure that we have vision beyond whatever our promotion is. And here in just a little bit, we're going to talk about the fact that you only promote 9 times in this business. So not every month is going to be a promotion month. So you need to focus on who are you bringing, what promotion are you focusing on this month? Who are you bringing up this month? Where are you focusing? And I know that some of you have people in a push chat or in a Rise to Ruby chat or whatever. That is so, so important. And for me and my team, that's what exactly we're focusing on this month, because we've had a lot of the Diamond Plus promotions. We've had a lot of Emeralds or like spouse spots promoting all of that stuff. So we want to focus on bringing people with us, you guys. That's how you get people to stay for the long time. So the importance of recruiting is so that, one, you're not doing it by yourself. I think we're on 7. Drop a 7 if you've ever looked at your chart after you've predicted out. It's the 4th. We all should have our charts out. We all should have them predicted out right now. Drop a 7 if you've ever looked at that and thought, dang, I need 50 pick 2s. I need to enroll 50 pick 2s to maintain. Okay, because I'm pretty sure I looked at my chart and said the same thing. And I'm like, no, Jamie, I don't. I have a 400 box that needs 250. How many distributors can I stack under there and help them get their shopping sprees? 2, right? And I'm going to make an extra $300. So it's, do what? Okay, I thought somebody had something. So we just want to really focus on the importance of recruiting instead of constantly filling boxes. Something that I do with my team, Alyssa said we're going to be giving tactical advice. Something that I do with my team every month is whatever their chart is, I have them charted out completely. And then anybody that is not working the business or is like below 200 BV or 250 BV, we star them. And that's how we get our distributor goal for that month. So like, say you have 7 dead boxes, that needs to be your goal. Shoot for the stars, you guys. Okay. So that way you're not looking at the end of the month and thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to fill 7 boxes because these people aren't working. No, I'm going to put 7 distributors in. I'm going to focus hot and heavy for the first 10 days or whatever, and getting distributors in to help me build these boxes. And then I'm going to get excited because I'm going to turn around and one out of those 7 is going to actually run with the business, and I'm going to get to work with her next month to go to Ruby. Okay, so that's something, it's something that, I mean, I'm almost 4 years in the business. Alyssa's almost 10. It's something that we even have to sit back and think like it's something that doesn't happen overnight. So training your brain to think like that and to think, how am I going to look at this differently? You're just reframing it. Instead of focusing on how many loyal customers, you're focusing on how many distributors, how many people can you help. I want y'all to drop in the chat real quick. What rank are you right now? Okay, so we have everybody from Ruby up, right? I don't see any executives or anything like that. So you know how to build to Ruby. Your job now is to go build a Ruby. If you are Emerald, that's going to take you to Diamond. If you are Ruby, that's going to take you halfway to Emerald. If you are Diamond, that's going to start, actually, that will take you to double Diamond because you have to build another Emerald or another Ruby on your Ruby leg, right? So this business is about building rubies. And so that should be the cornerstone of what, if you're not up for promotion this month, then that needs to be your goal. You need to decide that you are going to help partner with somebody to build a ruby, or to build 2 rubies if you have a large chart, right? So some of us, I see lots of diamonds in there. You probably have 2 people that you can partner with to run for Ruby this month, and to just to help build them up, to give them all the tips and tricks, and to just pour into them. Does any of that make sense, what I'm saying? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, good. Alyssa, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, just along with that, as far as the partnering with someone, don't forget, like sometimes, especially for those of you that are diamond or above, or you've been in for a while, we know that we have such a gift that we're able to place, right? Like there's companies where you can't place distributors and you can't place customers. So that is an incredible gift. However, don't forget that you can also teach people to promote. That sometimes I feel like when we think partnering up with someone, we think that everything's got to go to that person. And there are times in your business like where that is fun. That is the perk of continuing to work your own business, right? Because when you have distributors and customers, you can help your team promote. But also don't forget to be coaching these people, that it is possible for someone to join your business and do it all on their own, as long as you're there to support them. And I think sometimes we get in their head of like, we have to help them, or they're not going to do it. Like I need them to go Ruby, so I need to do it. So just make sure that you are also teaching and coaching with that partnering. Partnering doesn't always mean placing.
I love that so much. And that actually like rounds out my thought for this particular little bullet point is this month. If you notice, I said, if you're a diamond, you might have 2 people that you're going to partner with. I didn't say 7. I didn't say 14. I want you to partner with them. I want you to coach them and mentor them. I want you to talk to them every single day, voice memo them, get on Zooms with them, walk through charting their Ruby with them, because a lot of times our teams do get big, right? If you're a diamond, you've got people under you. If you're a double diamond, you got even more people under you. And it's hard to focus when you're looking at the big picture, when you're looking at your whole chart, trying to figure out, where do I even start? It's hard. But when you say, I'm going to work with this person, it maybe partner is the wrong word, but like mentor and coach them to Ruby. They can do it, because then that empowers them, and their confidence is going to grow, not only in the business and in the products and all of that fun stuff. It's going to grow in themselves, and then they're going to be able to turn around and do it for somebody else. And then your team continues to grow exponentially. Alyssa, do you want to do the next one?
Excuse me. Yes, I can do. I'm like, we have so many things. Okay. So let's kind of to piggyback off of that, but the importance of recruiting and not just filling boxes. The thing you have to remember is a lot of you guys are shifting your focus from customers because we've had this conversation, or because we've been talking about it on our team a lot. of Host to Post is amazing. We know it is. Like, it's a great way to gather customers. It completely changed our business in the last 2 years. Never before in our business were people like enrolling 100 customers a month, you guys. Like, I remember the first time I signed 30 customers in a month to earn a retreat from Ashley, and it was hair, skin, and nails. Like, that was the product that like that blew my mind. Like, people didn't do that. So the fact that we have Host to Post is amazing. However, we live in a microwave society where like those quick wins, they're fun, right? Like when you get the connect notification, like I get super pumped still to have a customer. Like when I get a couple customers like in a row every day, I'm like, this is amazing. I can screenshot my emails of all in a row. It's fun, right? Well, the problem is we've gotten so addicted to those quick wins that we've backed away from how we used to build the business, which was a really good balance of customers and distributors. And we weren't enrolling 100 customers, but we were doing our steps. We were signing 3 distributors and we were teaching them how to get 6 customers because really that's what we were doing. We weren't mass enrolling. So our teams weren't feeling like they had to mass enroll. And so if you're a mass enroller, by all means, carry on with that. But also make sure that you're finding a balance of recruiting and playing the long game. To me, getting lots of customers is playing the short game. Getting distributors and helping someone change their own life is playing the long game, because now you're not doing it on your own. And if you're on my team, you've seen the video about the snowball of like, it's only you pushing the snowball for a while, but eventually you get more and more people and you're teaching them and you're duplicating. The snowball is getting bigger and bigger to the point where you're not really pushing it anymore. And it's going to continue that momentum. And that's what we want for you guys. And that comes from sharing the business opportunity. And I'm not going to go into all these recruiting tips and whatever, because there's so many videos out there, but I want you guys to be distributor focused and know that it might not pay off. And I know I saw Larissa on here, and I don't know if Samantha's on here, but I've had this conversation with both of them of like, it can be scary to like go all in on recruiting distributors when you know you've got boxes to fill. But like Jamie said, if you're able to stack a couple of distributors in those boxes that you need to be at 400, and you can help that person help you fill that box, and then you've got a new person, like she said, that can go Ruby the next month, you're going to have way more fun. And long-term, you're going to be set up way better, to reach whatever goal that you have, because you're going to have people working in your downline. So try to keep that in mind, you guys. I always use Samantha as an example because we had this, she went diamond in 3 months, you guys. She went diamond really fast, but she really didn't have any workers when she got there. And so she's always been a good customer enroller. So she just kept filling the boxes and kept filling the boxes. And we finally had to have the conversation of like, okay, I know that it's going to be scary for the next 30 days, though. I need everything to be distributor focused. I need you to, every thank you message for someone that hosts a post for you needs to be business oriented. Every host a post that you can needs to be business focused. You need to be sharing your story every day, talking about the business opportunity every day. And you know what? She signed less customers than that month than she probably had since she joined. She still signed some, but less than she had ever had. And I don't think she signed any distributors, to be honest. You know what? The next month she signed 10, and she had only ever signed 2 or 3 max. So just keep that in mind. It might take a little bit longer to pay off, but I promise you guys, in the long run, it makes such a difference. And not just in your chart and your paycheck, but in your mindset. There is something powerful about having a couple people join your team that even just start doing a little bit, right? Like, I know that whenever I'm in like the biggest funk of my business, I'm like, I know that if I can just get someone to partner with me, I will feel fueled again, because watching someone else hit their goals and having someone rely on you is a big motivator for a lot of you guys, especially those yellows of you, because you know those people are going to join you and they're going to need you. So, Jamie, I'll let you add whatever or go to the next topic, whatever you want.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, I want to ask, because I'm pretty curious, are you a mass recruiter, like a mass customer recruiter? Are you one of those? Because I feel like that this group is probably a lot of that.
Me?
No, everybody.
Are you just asking the group?
Just the group, everybody. Are you the top enroller on your team? Oh, okay, we've got a good mix. Okay. That actually surprises me. Also, mass recruiter could mean 20 to one person and 60 to another. So I guess that's that's nor here nor there.
Danny, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know. Kind of. Okay. So that's good to know. My point that I was going to make is I am a mass recruiter, and something that I struggled with early on before I got my people that truly partnered with me and that I feel like are here for life and all of those things. And maybe you've got some of those on your team and maybe you don't. I felt like if I took my foot off the gas for even a minute, that my whole organization would fall on its face. And that is something super scary to feel that it like, because life happens, you guys. Sometimes I don't want to like put bad things out into the air, but like things happen, and there may be a month that you can't mass enroll your customers. You can't be the head top person in your organization, and so you need to have an army of people, and it doesn't start with 20, it starts with one. And so I just think that that's so important, just to focus on um, looking at your business and realizing where you're at with your organization, and just being honest with yourself. If you are a diamond and you are doing it all yourself, like Alyssa said, it's probably going to take longer than 30 days for you to reap the harvest if you go all in on distributors. And that can be a little bit scary, but it is so worth it. And you have to be consistent with your story and with all of those things, just like you do with products. And she said something about it being scary and uncomfortable to have those conversations. It was scary and uncomfortable to have product conversations before you went all in on those. And we're having thousands every day with Host to Post and all that. So you're going to get better as you go. So I just encourage you to be bold and to stick with it. It's not something we talked about it on my team huddle the other night. Kind of the same popcorn mentality, like it's going to take time. I used the example of Host to Post is very transactional, and I say Host to Post because my team is a huge Host to Post team. If you're signing products, it is by the script. It is just walk through and it is sign, right? Like you're going to have people, they're going to say, no, I'm not interested. Okay. They're going to walk out of your store, and like they're going to keep watching or keep walking by your storefront or whatever. But it's very transactional. Distributors are very personal. It's people's money, it's people's time, it's people's commitment. Like it's something that could change their family's life. So if you take that pressure off of yourself, that it needs to be this quick win thing like we have with Host to Post, then you'll also have more fun signing distributors. So that's something that I'm working through currently, because I am a mass enroller, which is why I asked that question. And I love the high of the win. So I just encourage you to do that and to take that pressure off of you, to allow your distributor recruiting to grow and to give yourself time for it to grow and to kind of evolve. Okay, so my team had a huge March. We went VIP, triple diamond. We had like 25 promotions. It was insane, right? I know that you guys had a bunch of promotions last month. Y'all had a new VIP, tons of diamonds, double diamonds, spouse spots, re-ranking, new rubies, all that fun stuff. So the next thing that we want to talk about is just not taking your foot off the gas. We're going to go back to that again, because here's the deal. If you tie, you die. If you take your foot off the gas after you promote, you are going to coast downhill. Mark says it all the time. There's only one way to coast, and that is downhill. If you just promoted last month or the month before that, you should be working as hard, if not harder, because momentum is so hard to get and so easy to lose. And you are going to feel tired especially if you truly pushed for like 30 days. In March, my team, we truly pushed. We worked our buns off, right? And so April, it was a very natural, like, okay, like we can breathe now a little bit, right? But then we got to the end of the month and it was a struggle, and we looked at our charts and we were like, okay, we have so much volume to fill, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to let Alyssa talk about that. But if you promote, know in your head, think now, if you are a ruby and you are pushing for emerald, just know that the month that you go emerald, the next month, I want you to shoot for diamond. Okay, don't even look at maintaining emerald. I want you to shoot for diamond, because you will always maintain if you're always working to promote. Okay, and Brooke can probably say that better in the chat than I can. We talked about that quote the other night too, because that it's so true. You have to work harder the month after, at least as hard, but normally harder the month after, because you're going to lose some people that had that momentum with you last month. If you were on fire and you had 10 people actually showing up and doing the work and all the things, or 3 or whatever, you're going to have people that want to breathe the next month. And so you have to take ownership of your business, and you have to push through that, and you have to show up in a bigger and better way. Alyssa, you want to add?
Well, just someone that has been here for a really long time. If you are someone that is feeling exhausted, or maybe you have a team that is draining or is in your inbox all the time, or you're feeling overwhelmed by things, there will be a time in your business where you will be praying for someone to overwhelm your inbox. You will be praying for those newbies that just blow up your phone. And so anything that's happening in your business that feels busy, like maybe host to post is like literally just so overwhelming for you and you can't get through all of them. Trust me, like, do take those things for granted. I'm not saying like business is just going to disappear, but any business goes in seasons. So try to be grateful for anything that might be overwhelming you. Obviously, don't get burnt out, but there were just times when I initially started this business that I didn't know. I didn't know there were different seasons. I didn't know that life was going to happen, or that I was going to be thankful. And you guys, now when we have momentum like what we have now, I don't take a second of it for granted. I might get overwhelmed, I might need to take a minute, but I don't take a minute of it for granted, because I know that these are the seasons that change lives. And so you guys need to be super excited about that. And I like wish I could put my 10 years of brain and just ups and downs in this business into all of you guys, so that you could see what you have your hands on right now. But yeah, I think that, did you want me to talk on something else, or did you have? Okay. The other thing, I know we've talked a lot about just kind of your team and downline and not blaming, not playing the blame game, but I also want you to think of it this way. If you are the top, let's say, if you guys would say you are the top income earner for you and your downline, then will you drop a 9 in the chat? I don't know what number we're on. If you would assume that your paycheck is larger than anyone that's in your downline right now, will you drop a 9 in the chat? Okay, we know that in this industry, you can out earn anyone in your upline. I know I'm not out earning Ashley yet, but that's my goal. But I am out earning people that are above Ashley right now, and I have been for years. And so it is possible to out earn anyone. So don't hear me wrong. But I also want you guys to know, when you're thinking about maintaining or going after your next promotion, and you are expecting your team to work harder than you are, or to work as hard as you are, to be a 400 box, or to get a shopping spree, or to maintain their ruby check as you are to maybe maintain your diamond check or your emerald bonus, then you need to think through that a little bit. And there's going to be people on your team that want to go emerald and diamond, and they may be running like crazy. But for you to expect them to do things that you're willing to do when their goal is just to get to ruby, I hope that makes sense. So just make sure that when you're looking at your team and you're looking at your downline, you're putting yourself in their shoes. It's not that they won't ever get there. It's not that they're not ever going to run like a diamond, but at each rank, you move at a different pace, and you have a different kind of urgency, and you have a different to-do list and all of that. So just kind of keep that in perspective when you guys are talking about maintaining. The last thing that you need to be is resentful or anything like that towards your team, because they're real people. They're not just boxes on your chart. That ruby might be going through something that you don't know. So just kind of keep that in mind, that the pace of the leader is the pace of the team, but it is going to vary and look a little bit different for different people based on their goals. Hopefully that kind of made sense. Feel like it came out a little weird, but it's all good. I see some head nods, so you guys kind of knew. It's fine.
No, I think that's good. And that kind of brings me to something that I wanted to talk about. The pace of the leader does determine the pace of the pack. If you don't show up to Zooms, your team is not going to show up to Zooms. If you don't show up to Spirit Week, your team is not going to show up to Spirit Week. If you are the person, you are the top of your organization. You are the person that should be reaching down and saying, hey, come with me to this thing. Hey, are you getting on Spirit Night with me tonight? Hey, are you this, right? Like you have to be vocal. And I don't know if this is on our checklist, but I'm going to just go rogue here for a minute. Yes, bring two. I said that to my team the other night. If you are here and you're on this, then and you're going to something, whether it's a Zoom or a Spirit Week or a conference or whatever, make it your goal to have two people show up with you. Joel Dunn uses that example because they used to do lots of like in-person things. And sorry if this is a repeat for my team. They used to do in-person like Thursday night, bring somebody to hear about the business opportunity. And your goal was to show up with two people. So if you're going to Monday Night Huddle or Ashley's Fire Zoom or our Thursday Night Huddle or whatever, then bring two people, message two people, message the two people that are showing up on your chart, message the one person if it's just one, and ask them if they're going to be there. Invite them because they know they're on this team. They know they're a part of this, but you have to show them that you're going and that you'd love for them to be there with you. And I think that's something that is fun to learn along the way, like whether it be your chart or conference or whatever. My first conference, I went with no team. My second conference, I went with no team. My third conference I went to, I had 5 people and I was a double diamond, y'all. 5 people. That's it. This last one, I can't remember. I think we had 8 or something like that. I was a double diamond. Like it starts with one. So just make sure that if you're going to something, if you don't have people on your chat or on your team, get in your chat and remind people like you are that person. Get vocal and be loud and show up and bring somebody. Even if the person is the one newbie that's lit up in your chat, like remind her because she's going to bring good energy to whatever you're inviting her to, right? So be vocal. And that goes not only for just getting involved in things and showing up and holding yourself to that standard. You have, Alyssa does a fantastic job. Y'all have a calendar, right? You have a calendar of all the events, of all the things. You're growing a team, remind them, but be there yourself and be the person that remembers is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to say it a nice way. Like, don't be the person that is like, oh, what time are we having a huddle tonight? Or are we da da da? Or what are we doing this, whatever? Like, be the person that reminds. And sometimes that information isn't always communicated and like by the time you've asked or whatever. I get that because I communicate late sometimes. But know that Thursday, be the person that remembers. Thank you. Yes. Know that Thursdays, if you're on my team Thursday, 8:30, unless I tell you otherwise, we're going to have a team huddle. That's when our huddles are. Alyssa's our Sunday night, Ashley's are Mondays at 8. Like, know those things. They're going to be there. Family call is every Sunday at 9 o'clock. Know when you're supposed to be where. This is your business. You are a business owner. You're not an employee. Your boss is not going to remind you. You are a business owner. Take yourself seriously and show up for yourself and show up for your team. Okay. Not only your team down, but your team up. And every sideline sister that's in the chat or on that Zoom knows that you take your business seriously when you show up for those kind of things. I have be vocal written twice in my notes. The other be vocal, I'm going to kind of go back to what I was talking to a minute ago. You only promote 9 times in this month or in this business, not this month. If you promoted 9 times this month, I'm going to send you a special prize. So just DM me. But you are only going to promote 9 times in this business. So 1, turn around and figure out who you can help promote this month. If you can't do that, still be vocal. You're still on a journey. I'm about to get really loud about our journey to the top. And Tiff Pfeiffer is doing a fantastic job. If you saw mine and her text conversation over the past 2 days, is like 5-minute voice memos just back and forth because she was explaining to me what she's doing because she is talking about her journey to being a top 100 team. I'm not promoting this month. I am partnering with people to help them promote Ruby. We have a team goal. We're trying to have 8 to 10 Rubies pop. Like, we've got goals like that, but people love a journey. People want to watch you, whether it's a weight loss journey, whether you're clearing your skin with our products, whether you are trying to come home from corporate America, whether you are trying to have $500 or whatever your goal is. Take people on a journey. Reality TV sells because people get invested in whatever the hell you're doing. Okay. So take people on a journey and be vocal. For me, and like what Tiff is doing, she is shooting to be a top 100 team. And so her goals aren't, we're going to promote Prez this month and we're going to go ambassador next month and blah, blah, blah. She's not talking about ranks. She's talking about how many orders we need. Okay. And you can do that on a micro level. If you are, I say micro, on a much, her thing says like 370 orders or something. If you're a Ruby, you don't need 370 orders to go Emerald. You need 80, right? So get loud about that. Talk about whatever you're working on and just be loud about it. It doesn't always have to be a rank. If you are working on promote my post tomorrow morning, all my posts are public, so you can follow me on Facebook or just look or whatever. But like my post tomorrow morning is going to be talking about all the people on my team that are going to go Ruby this month. How many people join this business for $200 to $500, and how many people on my team we're going to get to help bring that money in this month. Okay, that's going to be my journey for this month. How many people can we help do that? And it's so important. So whatever your journey is, get loud about that. Whatever you are pushing for this month, talk loud about that. I think one of our bullet points, I'm getting all riled up now. Here we go, guys. I'm sorry. Alyssa, you got anything you want to add while I scroll back through our notes?
Yeah, so as far as just showing up, I also want to talk to those of you that maybe you don't have a team that's really working at all, because I know that's a real thing, especially at Ruby and even Emerald, where you can go to those levels and really not have anyone that's showing up for your business. You still have to show up for yourself, even if you're not showing up so that your team will show up, because your future team needs you to show up, and you're only going to attract the type of people that show up if you are the type of person that is showing up. So make sure you are showing up for yourself. And I've heard it a million times, but like, God doesn't always give you the team that you're praying for. He's giving you the team that you're preparing for. And you're not just going to magically start being disciplined. And you're not going to magically start feeling lots of energy in the evenings to get on Zooms as soon as you're Emerald or Diamond or whatever rank it is that you're thinking that, like, okay, when I get there, then I'll show up. Or when I get there, I'll do this. No, you do those things before you hit the rank. We often say that the E-suite is behind. So you've got to act like the rank you want to be before the E-suite's going to reflect it. So if your goal is Diamond, what does a Diamond look like for you? And I also want to be clear that being a Diamond, a double, triple, Prez ambassador doesn't mean that you have to talk on Zooms. It doesn't mean that you have to have your own team page. Sometimes we have all these ideas of what a Diamond is or what an ambassador is, and we hold ourselves back because of those things. So I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be a great speaker. You don't have to go off and write a book. You don't have to have a podcast. You don't have to do all of those things. It all comes down to work, but you still got to show up in some way or another for your team. So in case that's something that's holding any of you back, just know that you don't have to be any specific type of person, but you do have to show up, and you will attract the right people when you continue to do that.
Alyssa, do you want to talk about having a 30 to 90 day game plan?
Yes, I
or is
can.
there something else you want to run into?
Yes, I have two things that I'll run through. Really, you guys already know this, and I kind of mentioned at the beginning, you don't want to have just a goal for May 31st, because then what happens on May 31st, June 1st, you're making a whole new game plan. So yes, have a goal for May 31st, whether it's helping your team promote or someone in your downline promote. It is important to have a goal that's going to make you push. And my team's heard this a million times, but you need to have something that's going to make you push with urgency to get your foot back on the gas. But then you also need something that's going to make it stick in case you miss that goal, because drop a 73 in the chat if you've ever set a goal and you missed it, right? And so you need to have a goal past that to make you stay. And it needs to be powerful, and it needs to be important to you or to your family or to your team, so that you keep your foot on the gas. Because a lot of times I feel like we hit these promotions, and the reason that we slow down is because we've already exceeded what we ever thought we could do. We're like, well, this is more than what I joined for, or this is more than what I'm worthy for, right? There's some people on here that don't even feel like they're worthy of the promotion that they have. And there's a reason that you're in the position that you're in. that God put you in the place that you're in, or gave you the team that you have right now. And by you staying where you are, and by you not finding that you're worthy of the next promotion, think of how you're holding your team back. So you need to have a 90-day plan, and it needs to be important to you because you need your team to be pushing because they are worthy of it. So, I mean, this sounds harsh, but I don't really care if you think you're worthy of it or not, because if you know your team is worthy of hitting their promotions, guess what? You're going to hit your promotion by default. So if you need to not look at your chart because you don't feel like the title at that top of the chart, you don't feel like you're good enough for that title, then what is your team good enough for? And pull out all their charts, because guess what? You're just going to end up, at some crazy rank. And that's how people go ambassador, you guys. It's not by looking at an ambassador chart. It's by looking at a presidential chart and a triple and a diamond and then all the rubies below. Like, for those of you that were on the team when I was going ambassador, you know that we had like down to the executive and 400 box, like we were shouting everyone out because everyone was important. And that's how you have to work this business. So again, if you don't feel worthy or you don't feel inspired by the next rank that would be your promotion, then you need to get inspired by the people on your team that really need this or want this. And again, I say that knowing that we also have a lot of yellows on our team. And sometimes you guys need to make the goal about someone else for it to be really important to you. The other thing I want to talk about, kind of go back to, is the mass enroller thing. And again, if you're a mass enroller, that's amazing. We just want to make sure you're focused on recruiting also. But I want to put it in perspective for you in numbers, for those of you that like numbers. So I saw this in the ambassador chat, and people were talking about how, like, I would rather everyone on my team sign 6 customers a month than me and this other chick sign 100 customers a month, right? And they were just talking about the math and the difference of doing those two things. And so for those of you that have not yet hit diamond, okay, this is for you. If you sign 60 customers this month, on average, we'll say they did pick 2. So 45 BV, 60 customers. Let's say you keep them all on your top line. That is about $400. Okay. If you go out and instead of you signing 60 customers, you sign 10 distributors and you teach them all just to get a shopping spree. You just say, hey, try this business out. I'm going to teach you how to get free product. And then I know you're going to love it. And then after that, you're going to want to make $1 million. Okay. Let's just say you even just sign 10 people that want to get free product. When they get their 6 loyal customers and you're getting fast starts on every single one of them, you're going to make $1,500 just in fast starts. That doesn't even include any of the commissions, no matter where you put them on your team. So probably 5 to 10% on those orders each month for 3 months. Okay. If you are a diamond or above, you're now getting diamond bonuses when you go out and sign those 10. So you went from making $400 by signing 60 customers all on your own and probably going absolutely insane, right? Because 60 customers is a lot of people to maintain. As a diamond, that turns into $2,300 just in bonuses, no commissions. So 400 to 2,300. Okay. If you're a double, it goes up to 2,700. That's a lot of money, you guys, not even in commissions. Not to mention, think of how many people you probably just helped go Ruby by signing 10 distributors. Think of how many people are now making a paycheck because you offered the opportunity. So again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and sign 60 customers. Signing a lot of customers is fun because guess what? You can make sure you get your fast starts, right? And you can help people promote. But thinking about the math part of it, even if it takes you 2 or 3 months to sign those 10 distributors, that's still a lot of money, you guys, just for teaching people to get a shopping spree. We're not even talking about Ruby. So I wanted to put that in perspective for you guys that like numbers. Okay, your turn if you had something else.
Okay, so I want to go back to what you were talking about a minute ago when you were saying if you don't feel worthy, then you're capping like what your team is capable of and all that stuff. And I know I've got a few people on my team that are lucky enough to have amazing husbands with awesome jobs, and they don't necessarily need this money. And you guys, when I first started this business, I had a really successful career. I made 6 figures a year. I didn't need the money either, right? But life changes, circumstances change, and now I'm here and I do this full time. And fortunately, I'm really competitive, and that never the fact that I didn't need the money did not stop me from going and wanting to get all of it, right? So I'm super competitive and I just went for it. But here's the deal. What happens if you sign somebody, you only want $500 a month because you want to go to Target unfiltered, right? And you want to be able to buy whatever you want and buy manicures and whatever. You only need 500. What happens if you sign somebody that needs $2,000 a month, but you're not pushing and you're not showing up in a way that shows them that it's possible to make 2,000, or you're not showing up and helping them and partnering with them to go Ruby to get that 500 to help grow their self-confidence, and then showing them that, hey, to go Emerald, we just got to do it again. We're going to build another Ruby, right? And then working with it, like that. I've heard that analogy that Alyssa said probably 20,000 times. And as she was saying it, it dawned on me. I was like, what if I wouldn't have showed up in the way that I did? Like, what if I wouldn't have been so red? Like, what about all those people on my team that didn't need $500? They need 2,000 and I was only here for 500. Like, how many people am I hurting by not pushing for more, by not leading from the front? And I don't know, that just kind of got me. So I thought I would share that. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I was like, man, what happens if I have, like, I have 2 girls that I'm partnering with to go Ruby this month, one Sherry and one Shelby. I'm like, what happens if Sherry really needs $2,000 a month, right? Like, am I leading her in a way that's going to show her that she's capable and worthy? And am I developing her? And am I like leading from the front and developing myself to show her what this business can do for her? Anyways, so that's just something to think about, because a lot of times when it's not about you, it's not about your rank advancement and it's not about that. It's like, okay, but it really could mean like the world to this other person. So yeah, let me see. Okay, I want to talk numbers since Alyssa just did. Know your numbers, and you have to be prepared. So if you have charted yourself, meaning predicted out your chart, gone into TreeViewer, looked at all the auto ships that are supposed to run, charted yourself, if everything runs how it should, I'm going to have 6,423 BV or whatever it is. Have you done that yet? Yes or no in the chat. It is the 4th. You should have done that right now. No shame in your game if you haven't. Let's just get it done, okay? And if you need help with that, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom. I know Alyssa would. You do it at the 15th. How do you know what to place before the 15th? Like if you're an enrolling customer, and I don't mean to call you out, but I'm curious because you do it on purpose on the 15th, so that makes sense to you. Yeah, you go off of what you did last month. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Perfect. So normally, at least for myself and my team, I encourage everybody to have their charts done by the 3rd, because as you're enrolling, I want us to hit the ground running on the 1st, right? We're not going to wait until the end of the month. We're not going to be surprised when everything runs on the 25th. We are going to know what we did or what we've got to work with now. And I was charting with a couple of girls last night doing their rubies. So this is Sherry's chart, right? So Sherry is boxed Ruby. She's one of my girls that's going to go Ruby this month. She's predicted out at 288, 248, and 165, right? So then I kind of walked with her through like, okay, you need 112. So if she signs a big customer, we're going to place that under there and we're going to get that box closed. Then we're going to go to the next box. Then we're going to go to the next box. And she's already stacked. She's focusing on distributors too. So she's already stacked her new girl right here. Okay. So I'm going to let Alyssa talk about strategy of stacking and things like that here in a second, but you've got to know your numbers and you've got to have a plan in place. We didn't do it on that one, but we did it on this one. Okay. So this is another chart. I don't know why it's being like that. I'm sorry, y'all. So this is Shelby's chart. Okay. So she's predicted out at 904. She knows that she needs 1,096. So she needs, is that 25? 25 pick 2. She signs a lot of pick 2, pick 3s. So she knows that she needs 25 pick 2s. That is a way that she is going to share her journey this month. So not only is she going to be able to make posts about her going Ruby, she's going to be able to make posts about, I need 25 orders. I'm 25 orders away from my promotion, blah, blah, blah. And then as the month progresses, she can talk about all of that stuff, right? But she also or she can talk about it. We did it by BV per day. So if she's getting even BV every single day, she knows that she needs 39 BV a day. Know your numbers. If you're going ruby, if you're going emerald, whatever you're doing, or double diamond, know your numbers. My team has had a daily BV goal for the last probably 18 months. This month we're pushing hard this month because April was kind of slow for us. Our enrollments were, March was huge, April was slow, so we're going hard this month, and we're shooting for 700 new BV a day. Okay, so that ensures that everybody re-ranks. That ensures that all these Ruby promotions that we're partnering up for are going to happen. So whatever goals you set for yourself and for your team this month, know your numbers and get ahead of them. Okay, the month that we went triple, we had so much ground to cover, you guys. And had I even waited until the 5th to get my crap together and to figure out where things were going, then it would not have happened, because every day matters. And when we talk about getting to the end of the month and everything running on the 25th, and then your hair's on fire trying to pull in 10,000 BV or what at 500 BV or whatever last minute, like, you don't want that feeling at the end of the month. I don't want that feeling. If you've ever had that feeling, drop a 14 in the chat, where you get to the 25th and you're like, there's so much work to do. What in the actual heck happened? Okay. So that changes by starting today. That changes by knowing your numbers on the 3rd or the 1st or the 5th. I don't know. 5th. I'm like, don't go past the 5th. Know your numbers. Know where you're going, because it is so unsettling to get to the end of the month, especially if you've had a decent month. Like last month, I had over 30 enrollments, and then we still got to the 25th, and I was like, this is scary, right? We've all been there. It happens. You have to know your numbers, and you have to work for them every single day. They have to grow every single day. And if they don't grow for 5 days in a row, you need to address that. Get out in front of it. Have the hard conversations with your team. Hey, is life happening? Because sometimes, like Alyssa said, life is going to happen. Stuff is going to happen. You may not know that that Ruby that was all in on the 2nd now is going, I don't know, whatever, life, work, kids, like, you've had life. We've all had life. If I were to tell you the life that happened on my team last month, y'all would be like, I don't even know how y'all did anything. Like, there was so much. People were in the hospital, people had COVID, we had deaths, we had cancer diagnosis. Like, we had so much real life stuff. And you've got to stay on your numbers. Okay. So know your plan of attack, whether you slice it by day, by orders, by whatever. Yes, that's exactly what I do, Larissa. And and I don't know what rank you are, but if you have a big chart, like I have a lot of people on my chart, there is actually a formula in Excel. Okay, so you might have a lot that you've got to go through. If you're a Diamond Plus, you probably have a lot of auto ships to go through. It's a manual process, right? If you're going to go into Tree Viewer, click all loyal customers and just click and see who has whatever. This is my, like, this is me charting with rubies last night. I was literally just adding up auto ships. Okay, nothing fancy, just get the numbers on the page. But if you've got a lot of auto ships, we've got tons of them. There is a couple of reports you can do. You've got to do some VLOOKUPs and stuff. I can send Alyssa the video that kind of automates it, but it's not worth it if you don't have like a ton of auto ships. So let me see. But okay, so know your numbers and be prepared. Just don't be unpleasantly surprised when you get to the end of the month. You should know your numbers throughout the entire month. You should be able to tell your team members what their numbers are. You should be able to say, like, if Alyssa comes to you and says, hey, I know you are pushing for Emerald this month, how are we doing? Like, you shouldn't have to go chart your chart right then. Like, you should have it and have a general idea, because as you're enrolling customers on the 7th and 14th and whatever, you're going to say, oh, okay, this box needs 82 to close. I'm going to place this 91 BV order there. That box is closed. Oh, I've got 102 over here, and I've got these 3 pick twos. I'm going to put all of those there so that we can close that box out, right? So that's kind of that. Alyssa, what else you got?
Okay, so I I usually do take a couple days to do my charts. I'm gonna be totally honest. And so Larissa probably learned that from me because I kind of do it the same way. But here's what I do. I make sure that when I go to bed on the last day of the month, I know exactly where my next couple customers are going and where my next distributor is going. Honestly, that's the only thing I need to start off my month strong. Because if I don't know where either of those things are going, I just won't sign them until I figure out my numbers. So I always, because I want to start my month like working, I find that I get like with all the team stuff and making a new cover photo and all those things, like I just have to like hit the ground running with post to post or working. And so I usually take a couple of days before I get my charts ready and I pretty much go off of all the obvious spots. So like I know that if someone on my chart placed a personal order to fill a 400 box, like to me that's an obvious spot that I will need to fill in, especially if it's under someone that's not working. And so I kind of take an honest look at my chart of like, okay, typically with a diamond or above chart, I feel like there's a couple boxes that like that person's not working or that person wasn't over 400 this month and next month they're going to need to be. And so I kind of just make a list of those things so I know where like boom 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 I know where my next few people are going. If I ever get close to not knowing where my next people are going, I make sure that I have gone through tediously for every little bit of volume. But for sure by the 15th, and then obviously again by the 25th, you have to you have to go back in and see where it actually is. So definitely you need your chart and you need to have a game plan no matter what that looks like. No matter if you go through and you tediously do it on the first of the month or the fifth of the month or whenever, but if you don't know where your next customer is going, you are doing something wrong. Like if you sign a customer tonight and you have no idea where you're going to place them, you need to get your chart. Like that is a problem because most people will not sign a customer or not sign a distributor at least as fast as they could have had they known where that person was going. So if you don't have a game plan, I know sometimes it gets confusing. Like sometimes you guys message me and I'm like, okay, I don't really know what to tell you. Like either it's like weird because there's people not working or whatever, but we got to figure it out. We need to know what's happening, where you're building, or you just won't build. And we are professional builders, so we gotta get that together. Um, okay, I'll give you guys a few tips for just stacking because I know we have a lot of people that have to do that. And honestly, it's going to be a part of your business for forever. There's never a concrete answer with stacking. I wish that I could give you guys, like, when it comes to charting, sometimes there's not always a black and white answer. That would be amazing. And I will always give you the best advice that I can, but also just know that sometimes we don't know what people are going to do, right? So there's not always a perfect answer. And with stacking tonight, I can't even give you that much in-depth advice because again, everyone's chart looks a little bit different. It's more of a personal conversation, but a couple of things. First of all, you should have an empty box on your chart. And if you don't have the right charts printed. You should have a chart that you are, working on maintaining or whatever, but you should have an empty box on your chart. So pull out the next one if you don't already have that, even if it's scary, even if there's a lot of empty boxes, right? Because if you're going from double to triple, you might not have a third leg going. You're going to pull out a chart and it's going to be a lot. But you have to have an empty box because again, you won't fill it. There will be no urgency to get recruiting. If you don't see an empty box on your chart, you will continue to try to fill boxes with customers because that's all you're looking at that you need. So make sure there's an empty box somewhere. As far as stacking goes, I always recommend pulling out two charts. So the one that you're maintaining, and then the one that would be your next promotion. You'll go through your chart and figure out who is not working that you would feasibly need to stack under. Then you're going to look at the chart for your next promotion and you're going to see if any of those empty boxes line up with where you need to stack. Does that make sense? So like if there's a 400 box on your emerald chart that is not working, is that emeralds box a place that is going to help you maintain, but could potentially work to help your emerald promote so you can go diamond? It's kind of confusing to explain without looking at a specific thing. But again, have the chart you're maintaining and have the chart for your next promotion and see if there's any place that you can ever stack that would help with both. And granted, we don't necessarily want to build someone that's not working to Ruby. I'm not saying that, but sometimes it'll help you maintain, but also fill a spot on your chart for the next promotion in case you need to use them or in case that person starts working or whatever. So again, confusing to explain on Zoom, but we want you to maintain while also strategically placing to help you get to your next promotion. And then the other thing a lot of you guys need to hear is sometimes what looks longer on your chart, like which what has more boxes to fill, sometimes is the faster way to your next promotion. So often there are times in your business where you take the fastest route to get a promotion. Like you've got the momentum going, you really just need to get this one part of your chart going and you just make it happen because that means your family gets a $20,000 bonus or whatever. There's other times in our business where we know we're not really hitting a promotion for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And we need to take the longer route, the one that has more empty boxes, because the person at the top of that chart is working and willing to match our efforts instead of working with this person over here that has their boxes filled, but they're not going to help you one bit. And so, long term, because here's the thing, when you look at your chart, even as an emerald, guess what? You're to go diamond, you need one of those rubies to go emerald. That's fine. You could make someone go emerald that's not working. But guess what? When you want to go triple, the emerald you just made emerald, they need to go diamond now. So you're not just building an emerald that's not working. You're now going to have to build a diamond. And guess what? If you want to go presidential, that person needs to go double now. And so again, there's times in your business where you do it and you make it happen because it's for your family and it's for your income. But sometimes you need to choose the road that seems longer, knowing you're going to have more fun, because guess what? It's going to end up happening faster or just as fast to work with a couple people that are working, even if it looks further. So hopefully none of your sponsors or leaders will kill me for saying that. Because again, if you're close, make it happen. But if you have the choice, or you know that you would feel, I mean, she's not on here tonight, but there was someone I was talking to today and her best friend's in the business. And I'm like, it's going to be a longer route, but I know you're going to be way more motivated to help her than this other girl that you keep rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding. So I'm like, commit to it and do it. Like it's further, but you're going to have way more freaking fun and be so much more motivated to do it long term. So some of you guys probably needed to hear that tonight. So take a look at your chart and see if there's any situations like that or places that you continue to suck the joy out of you, that you could maybe release and work with someone else that might be a little bit further, but it would feel so much more rewarding.
That's so true. I can't tell you how many times that I have switched gears just to like make my head feel better. Because it's like, yes, I know that this is the obvious answer because the numbers are there, but like I'm here for the long haul and this person kills me, right? Or this person is not showing up where this person over here is. And you just have to make that decision and be okay and be happy in your head and know that you're going to, I don't know. I think you said it really well. I love that so much. I love with working with people that are matching your efforts and bringing you joy. Hold on one second.
As muted. Okay. I really only have one last thing because I know like I was expecting this to be like 30 minutes, but I should have known better because we have all the things to talk about. But the last thing that I will leave you with is that what you focus on will grow. And I think that a lot of times we get so focused on maintaining, or we get so focused on our team not working, or we get so focused on XYZ and they're not positive things. And guess what? We just attract more of that. We get so focused on the people that are gone that we miss the people that are here. And guess what? We attract more people that leave. And so make sure, I think it was like conference a couple years ago, I made everyone bracelets and it said, what you focus on flourishes. And that's, so just be careful of how you're speaking of your business and how you're speaking of your team and your chart. Like I know, I mean, we all saw in the chat, we all deal with a lot of the same stuff and we're not alone, but make sure that a majority of the time that you are focusing on the right things and the things that you want to attract and the things that you want to grow in your business and the things that you want to see grow into your team's mindsets. And that's really it. And if you want to talk, the last thing I think we had to talk about was just being solution minded. But if you had anything else you wanted to add on.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say is something that we talk about a lot is just being solution minded. There are going to be problems. We are business owners, you guys. If you think that the person that owns a boutique doesn't deal with a pissy customer wanting a return yesterday and their money back in their account, you are wrong. If you are thinking about the restaurant owner, how many ticked off Karens come in a restaurant a day? You guys, there are going to be things that don't go right. There are going to be disgruntled employees or people on our teams. We are business owners and it is our job to focus on the solution. we have to eat, no matter what problem is brought to us, whether it's from a customer, from a teammate, from a sideline, from a whatever, it is our job to say, okay, I see this problem. Let's take our bias off, like our bias hat off, and let's look at it. How do we solve this? That's the best for everybody. Okay. Simple as that. By just focusing on how you fix the problem instead of focusing on the problem itself, you think about things. It's again, it's reframing how you think about things. So you got 10 host to post up and none of them are working, none of them have comments on them. What is the solution? If you want comments on host to post, go get more host to post up, or go bump them, or go have a conversation in a different way. What's the solution? Don't focus on the problem. Don't focus on the Ruby that is not doing what you need her to do for your promotion. Focus on the 400 box that's below her that's killing it. Okay. Focus on yourself. What are you doing for your business? If you know that you need 2,000 volume to promote to diamond this month, what are you doing to fix that? How are you showing up for your business? It's a business owner mentality versus like an employee mentality or a corporate America mentality or anything like that. You are the captain of your own ship. I hate to steal all of Mayfield's quotes, but you own this. This is you. This is your business. Take yourself seriously and focus on how to fix things and make things better. No matter if you focus on how to bring a solution to every situation, you won't have time to focus on all the crap. You won't have time to focus on the negatives. You will start to distance yourself from people that only bring the negative or that are constantly undermining the positive things that are happening and focusing on the negative. And I just think there's so much power in what you think about. And like Alyssa says, whatever you focus on, you flourish. It's like whatever you think about, you bring about. If you have not watched, what is it called, team? I asked like 8,000. I tell them, I'm like, I watch it 50 times a year. What is it called? I told y'all to watch it last week. I'm talking to my girls. The Secret. Thank you, Brooke. I watched The Secret. I just have it on Netflix 24/7. If you have not watched The Secret, it is so cheesy and so corny, but it is so stinking good. And it's about the law of attraction. And if you are focusing on HAPS not working and your team not showing up and all of that stuff, then you are going to get so much more of that. And so you have to train your brain to think differently. If you want to grow a team that is exploding, if you want to just have a business that's flourishing, focus on how to do that in all the different ways. Leaders are readers. They're innovators. They are all of those things. So just keep focusing on your business and what you're doing to move it forward. The last thing that I want to say is if you watch like the Cheyenne Knox or the Alyssa Bowmans or the Morgan Martins or the whoever, they have all the people and the Rachel Joneses, their businesses are flourishing and they are going crazy. If you think that they don't have all the stuff in the background going on, you are wrong. They do. They just don't focus on it. I listened to a Zoom probably 2 years ago when Morgan was like a double or something. And she straight up was saying that she never ever talks about the negative stuff. If somebody don't put it in a group chat. This is a tangent. Don't put it in a group chat. But 2, if somebody does put it in a group chat, take it to a side conversation, figure out what the solution is and move on. Period. That's your job. That's your job as the person at the top of your organization. And as we promote and as we grow into leaders, and you're going to grow, you're going to keep growing as you grow into these leaders and develop leaders underneath you. You just want to focus on duplication and you want to make sure that you're duplicating the right thing. And if you can duplicate solution-minded people that show up for their business every single day, what more could you ask for? Right. So I think that was it. I think we covered all our notes. Of course, we did run long. But we just know that this group of people, y'all have all promoted, or you are right on the brink of promotion, or you are trying to re-rank or do major things in your business. And we wanted to make sure that you were focusing on using your promotion to step into that light and to help other people, because promoting and doing big things in this business comes with a sense of responsibility and accountability, because you are going to bring people with you, right? I think that's
Love
all I
it.
had.
I honestly would just encourage you guys to make this next season of your business about seeing your team win, because you're gonna win as a result of that. But I've just heard so much of like maintaining or this for me or for my chart or whatever. And I know so many of you guys are doing this for your family, but I would encourage you guys to really turn around and, like she said, partner with one or two people on your team and make this next season of your business about your team and see how that fuels you. Cause I just know so many people on our team, they will work harder for someone else than they will work for themselves. And some of you guys aren't going to even work hard for your upline, which is totally fine, but work hard for your downline because they joined you or they joined someone on your team, trusting that you would help them reach their goals. So if nothing else fuels you, if you've already reached whatever goal like you could possibly dream of, or you're not motivated by being whatever for your upline's promotion, like that's fine. But do it for your team and turn around and make these next few months about seeing them win, because there is nothing more fun in this business than watching your team. And I don't care what personality type you are, that is freaking fun to watch your team have promotions or message you excited or to hit that thing that they never thought they would, or to get that paycheck or pay off that credit card. So if you need to be motivated, if you're in a spot where you're feeling burnt out or exhausted or uninspired, then you need to build more relationships with your team, because that should inspire you, knowing why they're here and why they need this business, and you should show up for them. So that's all I had for tonight. I know we went long. I appreciate you guys so much for being on, and that's it.